So whenever Children of the Frost plays live, we have our own like setup of how it's supposed to work. Basically, we all plug in to a splitter, and the splitter has, well, it splits our signal into two. One end goes into our own stage mixer, and so we do our own monitoring. So if we sound like shit to our own ears, that's on us. And the other end we hand to a sound guy and go plug it in and have fun. On paper, that system works, and it's a good system, as long as both guitar players have a cabinet simulator on their effects pedals. So my monitoring worked like a charm. I heard everything I needed to hear on after the first show with that setup. We don't talk about that. And I was on stage thinking I sounded like this. When in reality, I sounded like this. Guess who didn't have a cab sim? So I needed to get myself some kind of an effects pedal that has a cabinet simulator in order to make that system work. And so I ended up going with this. This is Harley Benton DNAfx GiT. And as you can see, there's quite a few lights here. These all mean that, it's working. And it basically has everything I need. It has loads of presets. Which button was it? This. Yep. Loads of pre-made presets, most of which I don't really do anything with. But more importantly, all those presets are customizable. And so, okay, I should probably talk about what we have here. Basically, we have mode, which lets you basically tweak the individual settings in a preset, and value changes the preset. And when you go into the customization mode, you can fuck around with it. And we have a master volume control and an expression pedal, and we have these two switches down here. They change presets when you press them once, and you hold down the left one, you get tuner. And you can also, I think you can change the pitch that you want to tune into. And the other one is a looper. That one I haven't really had any use for yet. And on the back here, I'm gonna roll some footage of the back side here. You got basically your input and two outputs. Programmable outputs. I'm gonna get into that in a bit. USB in, aux in, I think. Let's see. Yeah. In case you don't know, Harley Benton is Thoman's in-house brand. And I should also say at this point, Thoman did not pay me to say anything nice about this product. Whatever I say about this product is what I actually think. And I will also talk about the drawbacks that this specific product has. But anyway, at the time of making this video, this pedal will set you back 155 euros. When I bought it, it was 145, so yay for inflation. And for its price, it is a really good product. I mean, I forget exactly like how many different effects and amp modelers and cab sims there are. I'm gonna link this obviously in the description, so if you're interested you can check it out. I was positively surprised by how good this was. So how about we do this? I'm gonna cycle through some of the presets just to start with, And then we're gonna get into customizing presets and those programmable outputs that I mentioned. Okay. Okay, so the presets sound fine. They're not like mind-blowingly awesome, but they're usable. They sound okay. Now there is, like I said, an option to customize all these presets. The pedal or multi-effect comes loaded with 200 factory presets, all of which are customizable. One problem with this is that if you try to customize these presets using these two knobs, mode and value knobs, it's kind of confusing. It's not very intuitive. Not to me anyway. So what I do instead is I use the included USB cord to plug it into my computer, and I downloaded the software from Harley Benton's website, and so I use the software to customize these presets. It's way easier, at least to me. So how about we go over to my desktop and I show you how that is done. Okay, here we are. Now straight up, something that I'm not necessarily a huge fan of is that when you go over to the modulation section here, yeah, you can't really set up a whole bunch of modulation effects, and this can be a bad thing, and like I would definitely want to put like a chorus and maybe like a flanger on a clean sound. My rhythm tone, like distorted rhythm tone, that I try to keep as dry as possible, but on a clean tone, I would like a bit more options. But that's really not something that ruins the user experience. not in my opinion anyway. But okay, so what do we even have here? Let's just let me just pick a random preset. Like, let's do that one, the high gain. Okay, what do we have even here? First of all, what we can customize is the effects compressor section here. So basically you can add different kinds of wahs or a couple different compressors if you want. Then we have distortion and overdrive pedals, and there's what is it? Yeah, 20 options. So you can have your tube overdrive, your 808, and a couple of boost pedals. Black Rat, I think that's the rat pedal simulation. Some fuzz sims here as well. So you have quite a few options for your drive pedals. I'm gonna maybe go with the first one. And yeah, volume maxed out. I can give it a little bit of gain. Not quite that much volume. Let's try it. Try that kind of setting. This is usually how I boost the how I do an overdrive boost. Meanwhile, on the amp section, that's 55 different amplifiers for you to choose from. So quite a few. But for my purposes here, let me just go with. I think this is supposed to be a crunch soldano. Crank up the gain. A bit more of that. Bit of presence. Master can stay where it is. Okay. And then cabinet sim. Again, you have options. So you can pick any of these factory IRs, or if you don't like those, you have is it 9 or 10 spots for your own IRs. And when you can load in your own IRs, it's always a positive. So I'm gonna use this. And I guess, yeah, you can pick your tube simulation. And then you got a noise gate, you got a few options. EQ pedals, I usually don't go with any. And modulation, I kind of went over this a little bit. But yeah, you have quite a few modulation effects as well. And because I'm making a distorted tone, I don't really use any of these, but you can. We got some delay effects as well, and a few options for reverb. Although I'm gonna take it off. Now you're done. You can basically decide if we bring up this. You can basically decide this here, cab sim through. You can turn off the cabinet simulation from either of the two inputs. And this is what they meant by programmable inputs or outputs. If, for instance, you want to run one output straight into the front of house and the other one into like a guitar amplifier on stage that you use for basically monitoring yourself or something like that. And of course, you can save this preset. We can rename the preset. Let's rename it something funny. There we go. Save. Done. Now let me get a guitar and let's see how horrible this this modification is that I just made. Okay, so not the worst thing in the world. but I'm not sure if I would use something like this necessarily. This was just a really quick demo, but I think you get the point. So in conclusion, would I recommend this? Yes, if you can overlook the limitations of how many effects you can use at once, you might end up having to like add something else before or after this. It wouldn't be that much of a bummer if this unit had an effects loop, which it doesn't. Now there are other versions of the DNAfx line that have more advanced features. This, however, doesn't. But even still, it does exactly what I need it to do. It comes with a cabinet sim. I can get decent usable sounds out of it, and that's really all I ask for. I mean, I play mostly distorted guitars, so the fact that I can't stack a million effects all on top of each other really isn't that much of a deal. So that's Harley Benton DNAfx GiT. Again, I have a link in the description. You can check this thing out if you're interested. And like I said, Thomann is not paying me for saying any of this. I bought this thing with my own money, and yeah, I'm just satisfied with it. That's it. Yeah, that's the video. Now fuck off.